Welcome, and thank you so much for making the time to come out and joining us for our fall general membership meeting. We're glad to see so many faces tonight. While everyone is still logging in, take a moment to introduce yourself, please, in the chat. Feel free to share your name, your pronouns, and your favorite product here at the co-op. We'll get started in just a moment. Again, we'd like to welcome everyone and thank you for joining us tonight. We wanted to first start off with some meeting logistics here on the Zoom platform. For those of you who would like to use closed captioning, you can click the CC icon at the bottom of your screen and you'll see captions appear at the bottom. Feel free to turn your camera on or off as you see fit. We welcome all pets, kids, roommates, dinner and drinks to join us. If you have your video on, don't feel shy. We do ask that you please keep yourself muted unless you're called on to speak or until we pause to answer questions. But please feel free throughout our presentation to post comments and questions in the chat. We have board members monitoring our chat thread throughout tonight's meeting, so your comments and questions won't go unnoticed. On tonight's agenda, we have a few things coming up. You'll hear from our board president. You'll hear from some of our newly elected board members. You'll get a peek at our annual report. You'll hear from our general manager and some of our store department leads. And you'll hear more about how you can get involved in our co-op. Without further ado, we'll turn it over to Chad. Hi, everybody. I'm Chad Hooper. I'm the South Philly Food Co-op Board President. And it's almost a year that we've been open. When I saw you at this time last year, we were just getting ready to open. You'll remember we opened the end of December last year. So we were in the mad dash to get the store open and stocked. And what an exciting year it's been. So I wanted to share with you, because you'll hear from Lori and the store leads later about what we have going on in the store and what's coming up for the holidays. It's all very exciting. I wanted to share with you a couple of updates from your board of directors, because we are an elected body that represents all of the owners. We've had some exciting changes. First, we wanted to welcome, we elected 3 directors to the board this year, Jen Ladd, Sharon Ulak, and Zaire Durant-Young. We're really thrilled to have them. The board also wanted to correct some connections that we've lost to our member owners. Before the pandemic and in the startup phase of our project, we spent a lot of time with you, meeting you. We were out in the community, we would go to events, we would get to see people in parks and at coffee, and there were just so many fun ways that we could connect with you. And we're trying to, as the pandemic wears on and as things begin to feel a little safer in some ways than others, try to restore some of that community. So we'll talk more about opportunities that we have later tonight, but for our part, the board formed a new membership committee to help lead on leading these kinds of general membership meetings, but also in trying to give the store some support on how we can improve our education to the community, how we can do better outreach, how we can give better support to the store in organizing volunteers. And, we would love to hear from you and work with you. You can always reach us here at the board. Our email address is board@southphillyfood.coop. and we encourage you to reach out. The membership committee, you'll hear more from them, like I said, in the months and weeks to come. And we're really looking forward to seeing you again, and more soon. We also spent a lot of time this year just making sure that we're transitioning well from a working board to a governing board. So in the 10-year lead up to opening the store, our board was really busy, and really hands-on, right? We had to organize and raise money, and lead on construction and finding contractors and buying the doors to the store and finding shelves and price labels, all the things that you need to run a grocery store. And now our board doesn't have to do that anymore. And so this year, the board of directors is trying to develop processes, and governance functions so that our board and future boards can do their job properly and effectively, oversee the organization, manage its finances, and be sure that our member owner investments are protected and are well managed, and that our store is organized and everything that we want it to be. And so we can only do that with input from each of you. And we hope to hear a lot more from owners, and we hope to see you in the store. So I won't belabor this. I'm really excited for you to hear more from our new treasurer, Maria Cortez-Herring. She's been working really hard to deliver good finance reporting for the board, and also bringing in some outside firms to help the board better understand the co-op's finances. We're all volunteers ourselves, so some of us have more understanding than others and more comfort than others, like about these sorts of things. So just so that everyone in the community understands, the board is constantly trying to learn and improve, and we want to be able to do a really great job for you. It's been a really exciting year, and we're excited to see you hopefully in real life next year. We're hoping this may be our last meeting in this exclusively virtual environment. And so with that, I would love nothing more than to pass this baton over to Lori. She'd like to show you around our store, and then I'll come back over. Thank you. Oh, it looks like I'll tell you a little bit about the store. Sorry about that. So what we've got here, for some of our member owners haven't been able to make it into the store just yet. Also, the store has been constantly changing over the year. So maybe you came and saw us right when we first opened, or maybe you haven't been coming very regularly, or you came just in the summer. It's constantly changing. We wanted to give you an opportunity to take a peek. So our favorite thing when you first walk in is our beautiful, lovely produce area. It's a lot of color that greets you as soon as you walk into the door. I know when you first walk into a conventional grocery store, you're greeted by a wall of like candy bars. So this is our version of that. We have these beautiful, beautiful produce, organic and conventional produce. A lot of things that you'll see from our friends at the Lancaster Farm Fresh Co-op. A lot of really nice favorites, some really exciting seasonal offerings, really great pears and apples all of the time, some really lovely turnips lately. And you'll hear more from David, our produce manager, to talk about what this is going to look like for Thanksgiving coming up. And here you can see the other side of produce, a lot of our seasonal offerings. You can see our member owner deals up on the wall. So people who are member owners often enjoy some sales and discounts that are exclusive to owners. One of the many benefits of being an owner. Here you can see more of our seasonal pears. We have really delicious pomegranates on right now. Some beautiful squash. You'll see other yams and potatoes and things like that. Here's a broader view of our produce section looking out into the leafy greens. And so we do hope that you'll stop by, and please feel free to drop in the chat things that you love. I know the leeks have been really popular Those are a fan favorite here in my house. And then this is our lovely grab and go case. This is actually the newest addition to our store. It's the last piece of refrigeration um, that arrived just recently. You'll see this right beside our register. So this is where we'll stock fresh sandwiches. We have in-house fresh cut fruit. Our general manager, Lori, can't recommend enough the fresh cut pineapple. It is delicious. We have from Red House Grocery these lovely sandwiches that are super fresh, really lovely. I personally also really enjoy these vegetarian chicken salad sandwiches. Those are a really good favorite item. So when you're in the store, if you're walking by, you can always pick up a quick lunch here or a snack for tomorrow. And we're excited to see how this part of our store grows as we continue to work with that. Here you can see this is our mixed dairy. We have a lot of good vegan options as well. And we carry some really delicious boba's kombucha if that's if you're into that sort of thing. But otherwise we have all sorts of dairy and non-dairy options here. And then looking more broadly out toward our eggs and cheese section, Lori and our grocery and produce folks have been working really hard to attract additional like really good quality cheese. We have a really good diversity of local cheeses, and we're always trying to bring on like new options. So please feel free. There's a member comment form on our website. If you have a favorite cheese or purveyor that you'd like to see us carry, please send us your recommendation or your ask. We're always looking for ideas, and we're looking to develop this part of our store to be a lot more diverse. So we look forward to hearing from you on that. Back here, you can see this is our primary like core grocery. So it's a lot of our boxed grocery, working really hard to bring in some more local like packaged products. So we have like a lot of standard things here. We have really robust gluten-free options as well that I know we have a lot of favorite items there. And then you can see back here, we have like an additional grocery at the back. You can see there's like beans and pasta and things like that. But here are a lot of you can see gluten-free sort of crackers and things like that too. Just to kind of give you a sense of the store. What's not pictured here, in addition, we have a pretty robust frozen section with a lovely juifer pastry, cookies, waffles and ice cream and those kinds of things. We also have a lovely fresh bread section with a lot of choices from our partners at Merzbacher's and others. And we definitely hope that you'll check it out. And I shared with you earlier that we had some new folks join our board. Some of them were unable to come and join us tonight, so they were kind enough to put together lovely videos to share with each of you. And I'd love to play them for you now so you can kind of hear a little bit more from each of the directors that we elected in the June meeting. So first, without any delay, I'd like to introduce you to Zaire Durant-Young, one of our at-large directors. Zaire is also a member of the membership committee that we formed and that organized our meeting tonight. So here's a quick message from Zaire.
Hello, my name is Zaire Durant-Young. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a South Philly resident. I'm super excited to be a co-op board member, and I'm really looking forward to being able to work on member owner engagement and also reaching out to the greater South Philadelphia community to let them know all the benefits and fun things happening in our co-op. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And now I'd like to play you a message from our director, Jen Ladd.
Hi fellow co-op member owners, my name's Jen Ladd and I use she, her pronouns. I'm originally from the Philly suburbs, and I've lived in South Philly for the past 4 years. For the past 2 years, I've covered Philly's food community as a reporter at the Philadelphia Inquirer, and I'm hoping to use some of those communication skills and connections as a board member. Whether that takes the form of working through the membership committee to provide education around the co op's goals and challenges, or in suggesting potential collaborators within the area's vibrant community of producers and artisans. My husband and I are expecting our first child any day now, and we look forward to meeting more of our member owners at the co op soon. Thanks.
And then finally, I'd like to share a message from Sharon Ulak. She is also, she serves on our governance committee and on our finance committee. So here is a message from Sharon.
Hi, I'm Sharon Ulak. I use she, her pronouns. I'm excited to be on the board this year. And one thing that I look forward to bringing to the board is helping the co-op and the co-op community grow now that the store is open.
And so thank you. We're really excited to have Zaire, Jen, and Sharon join us. Very, very engaged. I should mention that Jen also chairs our membership committee. So just thrilling to have new energy on our board, and folks who are willing to jump right in and get to work. We're very, very lucky to have them with us. And now I'd like to talk to you a little bit more on what our treasurer, Maria Cortesi Herring, has been working on. She's working on our first annual report. So we are about to publish this. You'll see it come out digitally. We intend to have some print copies, but to be kind to the environment, we're hoping to keep this as digital as possible. The annual report will feature some updates about our grand opening. You'll see some information about our financial reports and our performance from our last fiscal year. That part year ended in March, and right now we're just awaiting the results of our financial audit. That audit was conducted in the summertime for the first time in the co-op's history. The audit report is due any day now. The auditors were just wrapping it up this week. And so as soon as we have those numbers and the board gets a chance to review them, we'll go ahead and finish putting this together and get it out to you. We're really excited to have this beautiful annual report. We wanted you to know that it's coming and that we're really fortunate to have Maria on our team, who's able to make such beautiful, beautiful things. So I hope that you'll get this and digest it and be really excited to see what we have. If you have any questions about the current source performance, like please feel free to drop them in the chat. But we're going to share with you how the source has been doing this year in just another minute. That may help give you some more information than what's here. So in just a moment, we're going to turn it over to our general manager, Lori Burge, to give you an update on the state of our store. But as we promised, we wanted to share some sales data. So here you'll see just some good stats to give you a sense of how we're performing. And we're doing phenomenally well. Quite busy this year. On average, we see about 180 customers a day. On average, those customers are purchasing $28 of goods. And in the first 12 months, we're projected to earn about $1.9 million in sales. We had expected $1.4 million in sales in that first year. So that's a 36% difference over goal, which is phenomenal performance. We still definitely need everyone to prioritize shopping in our co-op, although these numbers are great. we still need to be sure that our co-op becomes profitable. When we build our store, there's quite a lot of equipment and things like that that go into making a grocery store function. And so while these numbers are excellent, the margins in groceries are very, very narrow. And we've been working really hard to return any profits into wages and into hiring, because it's our priority to expand the economic engine of the co-op in our community. And we want the workers in our stores to be compensated better and more fairly. So please be sure the co-op remains your favorite place to shop. Please encourage your friends and neighbors to come join, buy a membership, and continue to shop here. And then here at the bottom, you can see some more granular information. So you can see from April to November, that's like when we began selling food at all. You'll remember it was called the Basics Box program. And we would put together a curated box that you could pick up at the Bach building. And we had a number of really lovely volunteers who were helping to facilitate that prior to opening. We ran that from April to November. And we would have our friends at Block Delivery help to deliver some of those boxes. The Basics box generated $53,000 in sales. Then in December, we were open for a short window of time, like basically the last 9 or so days of the year. And we earned $52,000 in sales. And in the final quarter of our year, because our year begins in April, from January to March, we earned $474,000. So for fiscal year 21, that's 1.56 million where we landed. That number doesn't seem to add from the prior numbers. That's because we had a lot of fundraising and we were using loans to build our store, and we had like grants and things like that. So I don't want everyone to get like too hung up on that. Then when we get into like our full operating year, from April to June, we earned $482,000. From July to September, $494,000. And in the most recent performance for October, to date, we've earned $170,000 so far. We actually had a phenomenal summer. We were pleasantly surprised because the summer tends to be a slower time for grocery stores. So since we've opened, we've already earned $1.67 million. And we're really, really proud of that. And we could not have done that without you. To discuss a little bit more detail, on particularly on pricing, when we first opened, we had gotten feedback, that pricing felt a little high. And some of that is, we're a small business. And we're a new business, so we don't really benefit from getting things at discount or buying things in bulk because we were just opening. But we've worked really hard to curate the products in the store to be sure that it can be more affordable, because we want everyone in our community to be able to shop at the co-op and afford it. So the average basket has declined. It was about $30 and it's gone down to $28. And so we see that as an improvement in pricing. And we do encourage you to please comment on pricing if there is something that you see that's out of line with what you're expecting. Those comments are really important to us because it doesn't fix a problem if we don't know that it is one. So please let us know if there's something that doesn't work for you. That's the point of our democratically owned stores, that we get to make choices. And there's always new food options and offerings, and that's something we've been trying to also use to right size the cost of an average basket in our store, just so that you can always have variety and find something new. So there's value in coming in and checking every day. We want our store to be a wonderful place to work, and we want it to be a great addition to our community. And we can't do that without this incredible support that we have from all of you and from everyone else in South Philly. And so we really just wanted to say thank you, because we couldn't be more pleased with these sales data. And without further ado, I'll kick it over to Lori now, so you can hear from her more about the store. Thank you so much.
Awesome. So here's some exciting updates. Shortly after, right around the time of our last general membership meeting, we're able to launch our Everyday Basics. That's a selection of basic staple food items that we are delivering to you at an everyday low price. And so we've worked really hard to bring the prices down of a lot of products. We got some feedback when we first opened the store that a lot of the products were too high. So we worked to systematically go through and identify about 150 staple food items and reduce the price of those. And we really work hard to keep abreast of the prices out there. We're still an independent grocer, and it's our first year of operations. So, we've got a lot to figure out still. But again, your support and patronage is going to help us, get there as well. You saw our grab and go deli case. That was an exciting thing to be able to offer now to our community. And then, of course, our grocery manager and our produce department manager, Christo and David, have been working really hard to identify and bring in local products, more local food items. So please look throughout the store for those. There is a little special shelf talker out there for many of them, so you can learn more about where our local foods are coming from. And then we also have their farmer bios on the website. So it's just been a very interesting time, to be in the grocery business. We've navigated a lot of hurdles. Everybody probably remembers the toilet paper shortages at the beginning of the pandemic. There are ongoing production issues that, we face as a retailer, some food shortages. There was just an article in the Inquirer about natural turkeys and about food prices. Recently, there was several series of articles out there about that. These are coming from, food shortages that are in there. There are also a lot of transportation issues. We've faced truck driver shortages, which have caused late deliveries. So we appreciate you, bearing with us. Overall, as a small grocer, we're reliant on our, our distributors. And one of the nice things about working with a lot of local producers is that those local producers don't leave us hanging. They're there for us every day. And so when we need those deliveries, they come in and they deliver. So that's another reason to support, the local food economy. There was a really great article that Weaver's Way wrote about that recently. So we encourage you to check it out. We just posted it on our social media today. And then our major supplier currently is limiting the size of deliveries, the number of deliveries that we can get. We've been hoping to bring on a third delivery from UNFI. And because they're having a truck driver shortage, they're not able to do that. So that's one of our goals, is to add a third delivery, because that will provide more stable food sourcing, in the store, so we don't run out of stock of things. So just thanks so much for bearing with us and understanding that we're a new business, we're a small business, and we're navigating this industry that's facing a lot of challenges right now. And again, with the economy of scale, we're a small business that buys by the box, by the case, rather than the pallet. And we have a small staff size. So all of those things go into an impact, some of the things that we navigate. And, it's wonderful that we're small and we're intimate. And it also comes with some challenges. And so, we're working always to do the best that we can. And, our call to action is to encourage you to please continue to support your local food co-ops, your local food stores, and local businesses, local farmers and producers. And, when you're in the store and if you see that we're out of stock of something, ask a staff member if they can help you find an alternative. Or if we know when the product is going to come in, because we really want to keep your business, and keep your money in the co-op so that we can be as strong as we possibly can, for generations to come, because that's, what the co-op is about. We've 10 years in the making, and, we're going to be here for generations. So we appreciate your support. And it's all about you, member ownership. So it's just been really wonderful. I just feel very proud of the South Philly food co-op community. It's just, whenever I talk to other general managers or other co-op leaders, I just always feel very proud of the number of member owners that we have and the amount of investment our community has made in our cooperative, in co-op ownership, and things like our community equity fund. So since 2013, we have achieved 1,684 member owners. That's over $364,000 in equity. And, we really have to thank everybody, especially who voted last year in the election last October, to participate in increasing our share price. If it was not for those votes and for the folks that were able to make that investment on a voluntary basis last year, we would have seen tremendous delays in the opening of our store. It was coming down at a time when there were a lot of challenges, and those single $100 investments from those, member owners that added their equity last year and then into this year really helped make a very big difference. So we really can't, thank you enough. We would have been faced with a lot of delays, and it could have been incredibly problematic for our business if that did not happen, and if the folks that chose to add equity, like we predicted and hoped that they would, did do so. Since December 2020, since we opened, or right around there, we've grown by 310 owners. That's $83,000 in equity. So that's really tremendous. We're very appreciative for that. And we've also grown our community equity fund. Our community equity fund in total has raised about $9,000. We've sponsored 21 member owners through kind of a scholarship program that offsets the cost of the $300 member share. We were able to grandfather in those folks that were in the community equity fund at the $200 level, so that they saw no impact with the share increase price. And we distributed about $3,000 in scholarships through the program. Also, this month, we've been doing a community equity drive to raise our total number of member owners and to increase our equity and raise more money for our community equity fund. So that way, as folks from the community learn about the co-op and member ownership, that we don't have to say no or turn anybody away when they apply for a community equity fund scholarship. So we really appreciate, again, everybody's investment and patronage in the co-op. So let's talk a little bit about our October equity drive. You guys are probably all quite sick of hearing about it. You've heard about it through the newsletter. You heard about it on social media. You heard about it in the checkout line, and Mita and a handful of our member owners were outside the store and board members talking it up outside on fair weather days. So we greatly appreciate everybody bearing with us and listening. It's just so important for us to talk about the co-op and the co-op difference in our community, and to not just rest on our laurels about it and let people forget that we're a community-owned business. And so our October Equity Drive and Co-op Month is an important time for us to talk about why we're a co-op and what it means to be a co-op, and to invite and encourage and have conversations about our community's opportunity and the benefits of co-op ownership. So this month, we set a goal of raising $8,000 in equity, bringing in 40 new member owners, and bringing in about 120 new or additional equity investments. And we have been just very surprised and overjoyed to see that we're very close to actually reaching $10,000 in equity. We're at this point actually just a couple $100 away from hitting that, like one new member owner, and we'd be over $10,000. We have 42 new owners and 127 new investments. So thank you so much, everybody, for supporting our equity drive. The call to action was and is, it's not the end of the month, to support our community equity fund. We raised about close to $1,000 for that, so that's really good this month. If you are what we call a shareholder too, so if you go through the checkout line, you may see the word shareholder or shareholder two, like right next to your name at the top of the register. That's how you know, and that's how our cashiers know where you're at with your member share status, so that we can talk to you about that and answer questions, know what kind of questions you might have about your equity. So if it says shareholder two, then you were one of those wonderful, beloved early investors in the co-op who joined before we opened and before our member ownership voted to increase the share price. The backstory to that, Chad posted, I saw a link to a blog post that I recently wrote on that topic. We voted to increase the share from $200 to $300. So those shareholder twos were encouraging everybody to please. It was voluntary, but at some point we're going to, at the end of this year, going to be asking everybody to get on an equity installment plan to pay off that. And it doesn't matter how small it is. You could start with $5 a month. That would, that could get you on, keep you on track there and work to get that paid off. Folks who are subscribers are on an installment plan. A lot of folks signed up at the register since we opened. And if you're one of those folks who signed up at the register but on an installment plan, if you can please take the time to figure out how to sign up for an automatic installment plan. That's a painless way to get your share paid off. And then for folks who are on hold, those are folks who invested some money but maybe forgot that they were on a payment plan and didn't complete the steps to pay their share off. And so we want to make sure that you get access to all the benefits of ownership, including voting in elections, being able to run for the board, and of course, once we start making a profit, getting a share of that profit through our patronage refunds. Hopefully, if we keep doing the wonderful job that we're doing with so much support from our community and the store, we'll be profitable ahead of our projections. So it could come sooner than we thought. So that link at the bottom, if you type that in, maybe somebody will pop it in the chat. That's how you get to your own page on the member portal. And you can find out where you're at in your investment. And you can sign up for an installment plan if you're not at $300 and you're not on an installment plan. So check that out. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out, and we'll be happy to help you get there. And I think I saw a question about projected profitability. Currently, it's projected around year 5. So, grocery stores are a low margin business. Grocery stores do not make a lot of profit, especially not new ones. And so it can take some time to become profitable, especially because we're very capital intensive type of business. You see all the refrigeration equipment and all of that in the store. You have to invest a lot up front, and then it takes a while to start breaking even. So hopefully we'll be ahead of the curve on that if everything keeps going as it is right now. Again, thanks everybody for your support. Oh, and I didn't want to forget to mention that there are some raffle prizes that you can win if you add equity. So if you go online, you've got a couple days left here to do it. You could enter, you'll be entered automatically to win a $100 gift card, Eagles tickets to an Eagles game in mid-December. It's going to be fun. You'll be entered to win those, and you'll also get a special 10% off coupon good through the end of the year. So there's no better time to add equity and take us right up over that $10,000 goal so we can stop talking about it. Thank you so much, everybody. We appreciate it. All right, so now just for a couple announcements. One of the things that we've been talking about doing since before we opened is doing a direct mail to our neighbors within walking distance. Originally, we were planning on doing some door knocking and flyering of the neighborhood, but COVID and the timing of our opening in the winter was not a really good time to do that. And so now we're circling back and we're preparing a direct mail that's actually going to go into everybody, well, not everybody's, but as many mailboxes as possible close to the store that are on those mail routes, mail carrier routes. So we're excited about that. We're hoping that's going to bring some new folks in, let folks know that we actually are open. It's not just something that we were talking about for 10 years and never going to do. So we're going to send that direct mail out there as an announcement and get some new folks around coming to check us out. There is going to be, well, there was a new bike rack out there, so that's exciting. That was a labor of love to get a bicycle rack out front. We finally got approved by the city, and everything was just going very slow this year, but we did get that out there, and so it's nice to have. And we have a couple bike racks out in the back for our staff as well. And then, of course, block delivery service. We've had that since before we opened our store. It was part of our online store offerings. And now our delivery range with Block has expanded. They're serving the vast majority of the city now. So you can get products from South Philly Food Co-op as well as most of the other co-ops in the city, food co-ops in the city through Block. They're open to our customers 6 days a week now. So it was just a couple days a week, and now we're doing it Monday through Saturday. So you can order by 7 p.m. You just missed the cutoff for tomorrow's delivery, but you can order tomorrow and you'll get your delivery on Saturday. Awesome. In-store happenings. So a couple other really awesome things that we've been able to do as a new store that I'm proud of is that we've been able to raise a good amount of money through our Roundup at the Register program. That's where folks take the change from their transaction and make a donation to an organization that we're raising money for this year. And so far we've raised $1.5 thousand for all of these really awesome, amazing community organizations. So we're really happy and proud of that. And then also this next month in November, we're going to be supporting CMAC, which CMAC does a lot of really amazing work with folks that are migrant folks who have immigrated into the community, or folks who have been very long invested here in the community from various different cultural backgrounds. And they also do a lot of work with food relief. They were one of the super sites that did food distribution when the COVID-19 pandemic put people in a really bad place around access to food. And we're going to be supporting them this month because of those food programs that they're doing. So thank you so much for supporting Roundup at the Register. All you need to do is just tell the cashier that you'd like to round up your purchase, and it might be 20 cents, might be 57 cents, but it all adds up. As you can see, we were able to raise a good amount of money for our local community organizations that way. So thanks for chipping in. Our shopping hours and methods, we're open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. We are open to all. You do not have to be a member owner to shop in the co-op, so feel free to bring and encourage your neighbors to come by and just check it out, because they don't have to be a member to come in the store, and nobody's going to look at them funny or ask them for a member card or anything like that. We're not going to ask them to work or perform any requirements. They can just come in and check the store out, and we're just always so happy to see new faces in the store. And I already mentioned before the online delivery for Block. So that's another way that you can shop, and you'll be learning a little bit more about our holiday offerings soon. Awesome. Holiday happenings. It's that time of the year. We were really hoping to have the store open in time for Thanksgiving last year, but we were very happy with what we were able to pull off. And there are some pieces of what we did last year that was so well received that we're going to replicate it this year. So we're going to talk a little bit more about turkeys in depth in a second. We are going to have full turkeys. We're hoping to offer turkey breasts as well for folks who don't have a larger family to feed, or a number of guests coming over, we will have the vegan alternatives, all the popular varieties of that. We are going to do the produce box again this year, with all your local, your produce staple items, lots of local items. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We're going to have all of the bread and the dairy. We're working on a shopping list that can kind of help you find those things in the store, like have a nice little list for you, where to find it in the store, to help make it a little bit easier. We're working on sourcing pies from local producers, so we can't wait to have those. The beverages like apple cider and nog, and then a couple other things that we're working on doing are some cooking demos. Some of our culinary friends have offered to provide some workshops online for Thanksgiving basics meals. So, since there are some food shortages and it is difficult, we're gonna, to source all of the items. We are hoping, we have been able to actually attain a lot of them. But a lot of people have also come accustomed to cooking from scratch a little bit more since the pandemic. So we're going, our chef friends are going to show our community how to make some of the things from scratch that you kind of take for granted sometimes and buy from a box or a can. So, or, pre-made. So we're excited to be able to offer that, and we'll be sharing more information about that soon. And then, of course, we'll be offering gift cards and gift membership opportunities as well for holiday gift ideas, which Cameron will be talking about as we get deeper into the conversation. Lots going on for the holidays. We're just very excited, and we're very busy getting ready for it right now. Christo, our grocery and wellness department manager, has been very busy getting ready for the holidays and not able to be with us tonight. But Christo has been working just recently, very hard on a couple of projects like the grab and go deli case and the product selection there, getting ready for the holidays, and recently worked to hire and train a new assistant grocery buyer because our sales have been so high. We've been needing to hire more staff, and so we were able to promote from within one of our clerks, David Pica, as an assistant grocery buyer to work as a team with Christo, and so we can really cover more bases and work to meet our community's needs there. So that's been great. So thanks so much to Christo and David for all your hard work with our grocery and wellness department. I'm going to present some of the turkey pre-order details, which I know people have been waiting for. We've been getting phone calls about this. We've been getting emails and messages. Everybody wants to know what's going on with turkeys this year. And we will be having whole GMO-free turkeys again this year from Lancaster Farm Fresh Cooperative. That's where we got them from last year. They were very good. They were very juicy. The price is going to be $5.99 a pound. The actual weights will vary. And the way we're going to set it up is going to be ordering online through Square, or you can order in store this year, thankfully. And it's going to be a $20 deposit. We're asking folks to place their order by Saturday, November 20th, and the pickup day will be Monday, November 22nd. And we're going to have like a table outside with everything set up, so that if you're just coming to get your turkey that day and do your shopping another time, you can do it that way. Or if you want to come in and get your turkey and get all of your other stuff, you can get it the same day too, and you can pay at the register. Like I said, we're working to get turkey breasts as well. No pre-order will be required for that. That will be available in the store. Awesome. And David Thompson, our produce manager, I'd like to pass the microphone over to David. I think David's here to talk a little bit about all the exciting stuff happening in the produce department. Thank you, David.
Can y'all hear me? Cool. So yeah, I'm the produce manager, and I'm glad to hear everyone likes all the produce. I like it too. Um, yeah, so lately with the change of season, we've just been trying to bring on some new and fun things from Lancaster locally. We've got some cool scarlet turnips. We've got some black nebula bunched carrots. Loose juicing carrots came back. They were unavailable for quite a while. Like all of our squashes from Lancaster. We've got the pie pumpkins. If you're making any pies, there's the pumpkins for it. Yeah, so we're just working with Lancaster on a new batch of sales for November, bringing on some acorn squash, and we're gonna move into having apples consistently from them. We will also try to rotate like a cool new apple. I know that someone requested wine saps. I haven't seen wine saps quite yet. Or another favorite I know people like is the Gold Rush, which is more of a late season apple. So that one will be around in a couple months. But I really like all the suggestions. So if anyone has anything that they'd like, definitely let us know. We're open to suggestions, and I highly encourage y'all to try some of the new products we have, because if we try a new product and it doesn't sell, there's a high chance that we won't carry it anymore or again. So yeah, it's like to have cool, fun new things, they have to, sell, and we don't want to waste them or compost them or anything. So yeah, break outside your comfort zone. If you see me around and you need any advice on a recipe, happy to help. Hopefully we can work with more chefs and highlight some of our cool products. Yeah, I'm training an assistant produce buyer to help out. So I've been flying solo for ever since we've been open. So yeah, having that new life breathed into our team, the produce team, will help things run more smoothly on my days off and allow me to take a vacation and still have everything be taken care of in the way that I would like it to be, which is, to the standard that y'all deserve, that everyone deserves to have nice, fresh produce. So yeah, if anyone has any questions, that's kind of my update. Oh yeah, we've got the produce box. It's going to be really awesome. Should cut down on your time for getting ready for the holiday, and also help us out get the right amount of food, so that'll be very helpful. I think that's pretty much all I got. Yeah, we got the list here of everything there was some heated debate on whether we should do green beans or Brussels sprouts for the box, but I think green bean casserole is kind of a staple and not everyone likes Brussels. So, but we'll still have Brussels in store. So if you do like those, you can grab some. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have for y'all. Anyone have any questions or anything for me? Let's see. Oh, the leeks. People like leeks. Yeah, Gold Rush. Yeah, I also like Gold Rush. I think it'll be a minute though. But we have Stamen right now. That's really nice and slightly tart. Stamen apple. And yeah, more of our apples are turning back to local varieties, which I think are really, really nice. They don't have to come from far away. So it's much nicer.
Awesome. Thank you, David and produce team. We're super proud of our produce department. Thanks everybody for supporting a nice selection in our department by purchasing those fun food items. That's one of the great things that I love about being in a co-op is that co-ops are willing to kind of veer outside of the box, and it's not just the standard, Red Delicious, the regular clip top carrots. Like we try new things out, and we share those varieties with our community. So thank you for that. The details of the produce box order, all this information is going to be dropped in an email. So check your inbox on Monday. There'll be links to how you can purchase them, the produce box and the turkeys and all that good stuff in your inbox, as well as some fun happenings that are coming up this next month in November. So thank you for your support. And moving on to some finance updates from John Marco. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm John Marco, he, him pronouns. I'm the new bookkeeper for the South Philly Food Co-op. Started in July, and it's been really nice working with everybody there. It's a really great group of people, very supportive, very friendly. I'm really enjoying meeting everybody and getting to know everybody. Kind of as I was starting, we've been going through our first financial audit, and we're waiting to get that final report from the auditors. Working to streamline financial systems. We are using a new software called Plate IQ, which allows us to put our invoices into it, and it basically map the items to expense codes, and then once it gets up and running, it'll do all of our coding for us, which is really cool. It's going to save us a lot of time and hopefully make everything more accurate and make our margins more accurate for when we're analyzing things. In general, just trying to streamline things and improve our systems, and it's going really well. I'm excited how things are going. Just in the few months that I've started, and yeah, I've been really busy entering all the new equity coming in, which is great. Thanks to everybody who are new members and are adding equity and supporting the Community Equity Fund. It's really awesome. So yeah, I think that's all I have, and thanks again.
Thank you, John Marco. Thanks for jumping in with both feet. Such an exciting time for our store. So thanks for your support. And Cameron, our front end and owner services manager, is going to talk a little bit about exciting stuff at the front end of the store.
Well, I guess I'll start with actually, we have a lot of new staff. We're furiously hiring and training. So I'm definitely with them. I'm really excited about a lot of our new hires. I think they bring a lot of really good energy and have helped me so much in redecorating the front, which I'm very happy about. So I guess the big item is that we have been able to sell SEPTA keys, but it was a little bit difficult to get all the training put together. But I think finally, it's safe to say we can sell SEPTA key cards now. I know that most people are a little bit intimidated by the kiosks, as well as sort of the problem that there is no elevator to the BSL. So if you take the 70, 79 or the 4, you can just stop by the store, have your travel wallet reloaded, and hop on the bus. So that should be easier than having to like trudge all the way into the subway, get the thing, and come back. We've also, thanks so much to Rose and everyone else who's worked on the documentation for this. The gift card sales are running, they're up. We have some great directions, and we will be pushing them soon. Maybe we'll even get nice envelopes for them. And I'm working on getting the turkey purchasing online as we speak. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Thanks, Cameron. Yes, it's been such a busy time. You know, we're getting into the busy season. We're hiring and onboarding a lot of folks right now to prepare for the busiest time of the year. And our staff size has grown from when we first opened about 15 to, I think we're going to probably be around 20 when we're done. We have one more position we're working on hiring for a grocery clerk. So feel free to put the word out there if you know anybody that has any stocking and receiving experience, especially. That would be amazing. And we're just really looking forward to the month of November. After we've had such a great October, November is going to be great. Kim, you want to talk a little bit about the gift of cooperation drive?
Yeah, just briefly, we're going to be making it easy for you to either get a gift card online or in the store, as well as giving a gift membership online and at the store. The online piece is a little bit tricky, but you can definitely do this stuff in the store.
Yes, and Natalie in IT is actually working right now on getting the gift card purchasing set up through our website. So we're hoping to announce that here with that newsletter that's coming out on November 1st. So stay tuned there. We are doing some, in order to encourage our local purchasing, and a lot of people are going to be buying gifts early this year. And of course, we're encouraging you to spend your money at the co-op and at other local businesses in the community to help really support those small mom and pop shops, those neighborhood businesses that were, really hit hard by COVID. We're really encouraging folks to support local businesses this year. And, we're to get you to shop at the co-op and buy gift cards and gift memberships. If you purchase gift cards, a $25 minimum purchase or a gift membership, you'll be getting another 10% off coupon. Yes, those 10% off coupons go through the end of the year. And you'll also be entered to win this really amazing gift basket and a private virtual plant-based cooking class from Chef Shar Nolan, who's been doing such amazing work with the co-op community and with the libraries, with a lot of culinary education. And you'll also get the ingredients needed for the class. That's a raffle that we're doing for folks who buy gift cards and gift memberships during the month of November, and it's a $230 value. So again, please think about the gift of cooperation as you're buying gifts this holiday season.
Thank you, Lori, David, Cameron, and John Marco so much for your updates from the store. What an exciting holiday season we have coming up. And I hope to see everybody. I'm really looking forward to giving out gift cards this year. I know we were hoping to have all of this in place for last year, and having a grand opening right up against the holidays made it really challenging. So it's really exciting to see it all coming together. And I also wanted to thank all of you for working really hard to keep the board and all of our shoppers and workers safe. I know that as the pandemic wears on, there's been a lot of fatigue in the community. And so it's nice to have a place to go shopping where we're still wearing masks, and I appreciate your generosity in offering masks to people in the community who may not have one, or if you're like me and maybe you bought too cheap of one and sometimes they break when you're in the store. I know that I can get rescued at the front end. And so I just wanted to say thank you on behalf of the owners. And then I just wanted to lift up Cameron, our front end owner services manager, in the chat. Wanted everybody to know that co-op merch is on sale for members, so that we can have some more room for some cool holiday stuff. So any South Philly Food Co-op branded hoodies, all the cool kids are wearing them these days. We've got t-shirts and mugs and umbrellas and all kinds of really cool stuff. So if you are an owner and you want to take advantage of your membership, come and pick up a few things. We have some really great tea towels that I keep buying and now have like a drawer in my kitchen filled with South Philly Food Co-op tea towels. Anyway, I'm digressing from like the purpose of what I'm supposed to be talking about now. So at the beginning, I had talked to you about, you know, ways to resume member engagement. I wanted to talk about some opportunities we have coming up, some things we have coming up in the community. Lori talked a little bit about during this month for the equity drive. We resumed a little bit of tabling in front of the store on fair weather days. I know Mita, our vice president, has been holding up the rush on Thursdays. A and I were out there on co-op day a week ago. And it was lovely to see you, those of you who were out there on Tuesday. And it was really nice to be back in space with the community. So this weekend is Spooky Saturday on Passyunk Avenue. We are adjacent to Passyunk Avenue and not quite on it, but for our Fall Fest Spooky Saturday, we're partnering with our friends at Goodbye Supply. And so we ask you to please come on by, stop by and see us. We're doing some programming around sustainability. We also ask you, after you enjoy Halloween with your family, if you want to collect all of those wrappers, you can bring them by the store. We're collecting those to recycle. Those are really difficult and put a lot of pressure on the city's rubbish system. I am going to turn it over to Mita to talk about some of these other opportunities, and I'll come back here in a minute.
As Chad said, that we've been off and on in October being in front of the co-op and just for the equity drive, but it's really pretty fulfilling. Meeting the people coming in and out, talking to them, finding out what they like and what they would like to see, or even some people who are not members who are just exercising, coming by and pointing them to them inside about, you know, the drinks inside. So it's been really fulfilling to meet some of these members and non-members. And I encourage all of you to participate in some of these volunteer events so you can, you know, get to know the people who are part of our community. Chad talked about the Fall Fest and the Spooky Saturday. For the Thanksgiving pickup days, Lori had already mentioned about all the wonderful, you know, delicious Thanksgiving items that will be available. So please, we'll need extra hands to fulfill these orders on the pickup day, November 22nd, from 12 to 6. The next one is Shop South Philly. I counted on our website that there are 56 South Philly establishments that we have. And we really need people to reconnect with them, talk to the owners, see what's new, see what stands out, and along the way, add new people to our South Philly program. So then we grow our community as a co-op, because that's what we are, a community of people who shop locally and do things locally. And I'm going to hand it off to Chad for the upcoming surveys that are coming up.
Thanks, Mita. When we were, you know, working with the membership committee about ways to bring volunteers back into the fold, you know, we wanted to be sensitive to people's differing levels of comfort and risk, and wanting to be safe during this time. And so in trying to think through, right, there are people who will feel more comfortable volunteering from home, or feel more comfortable volunteering out of doors. And there are some people who, you know, perhaps are fully vaccinated, or if they have a really good quality mask, they feel comfortable being inside of the store or in closer proximity. So we wanted to have a lot of variety. So some of these things, you know, are calls you can make from the privacy of your own home. You know, we have some upcoming surveys that we're putting together. And so for this, you know, the membership committee would love tap our community of member owners for any skills or talent around helping us form and develop those surveys. But also a form of participation from members is simply taking them. When we issue surveys to the membership, it's very important that as many members as possible complete them. I know that if your inbox is anything like mine, you probably get bombarded with these sorts of like questions. But because we jointly own this business together, when we're sending a survey, it's because we need to know from our other owners information or your opinion. And we want to be sure that we're including everybody's voice before we make a decision. So you'll see opportunities to participate either in, like I said, participating in the survey passively, or if you'd like to step up and help consult with the membership committee in helping us develop them, we would love to work with you. I dropped a link in the chat to our volunteer page where you can provide your contact information and get set up in our volunteer contact roster. And then here at the end, this last line about holidays or heritage months or different affinity groups, like if you have a certain passion around any particular thing. So we have a lot of energy in the board and in our store and among the staff where we want to do a lot of specific programming. For example, most recently around Indigenous Peoples Day. And now, we have Thanksgiving coming up, and there's just a lot of like interesting history and a lot of interesting discussions we could have around food and food sovereignty. And there's also a truth that everyone who's working at the co-op is very, very busy, and they're going to be going through their first holiday season together. And so we on the board are trying really hard to give them support. And as we think about ways to develop programming and blogs and newsletters and content, we would love it if people wanted to volunteer in the form of maybe submitting an article or maybe sharing a resource that we could put out to member owners. So if there was something that resonates with you or that you care about throughout the year, it doesn't have to be necessarily about the fall. But when we do certain programming later in the year, for like Women's History Month or something, perhaps there's something that speaks to you. And we wanted to invite our owners to participate through that channel as well, through the submission of articles or sharing of resources. And you can contact the board if you have questions about how you might plug in, or if you have like a suggestion. Our email address, I'll put in the chat when I'm done talking, is board@southphillyfood.coop. Or again, you can sign up on the volunteer link, and we'll go ahead and get in touch with you. And so those are some ways to come back into community involvement here as we come back into our houses for the winter, and we try to get through the rest of this pandemic. And then hopefully in the spring, we can resume some more in-person community activities. On a final note is that one of our prerogatives as general members is to vote. This isn't a high stakes ballot for this particular meeting. In the spring, we elect a board of directors. And so that's usually a more exciting election in that way, because we get to hear from candidates and everything. In the fall, we conduct like the business of the co-op. So the business of the co-op at this time is to adopt or approve the general membership meeting minutes from our last meeting. I will drop a link in the chat here to those minutes. You can review them. Member owners who are designated as the voting shareholder received an email from our voting platform. It's called Helios. So you would have received a message that contained a username and password to access your ballot digitally. Then you access the ballot. You can choose whether or not you're going to approve the meeting minutes. Then you have to like submit your ballot, approve your ballot, and then it says your ballot is submitted. It takes several clicks to get through. The balloting goes through this evening and closes at 9 p.m. tonight. So at the end of our meeting, you have roughly an hour or so to go in, do your duty as a business owner, and vote on the minutes. And I think that brings us to the end of what we've got here. If you haven't been to the store, again, we're at 2031 South Juniper, just between 13th and Broad and Snyder on a little side street. Do come by if you haven't been by yet. I know sometimes people want to wait for a new business to like work out the kinks. We've done that. So now's a great time to stop by. And if you don't already follow us on social media, please do. Although she isn't with us tonight, our marketing and outreach coordinator, Carrie Citron, gives her heart and soul to our social media channels. I'm always really impressed with her energy and her ability to keep those updated. So there's always a lot of exciting news and content that's shared on there. We have a lot of really awesome member owners who participate in providing content and making little reels. And so you'll see a lot more activity on there as we continue, and please remember to vote. With that, I am going to turn off my screen here so we can all see each other again. And I'd like to just use the rest of this time to see if anybody has any questions. And you're welcome to come off of mute to do that. You're welcome to drop those in the chat.
I just wanted to put it out there really quick. Does anybody have any, I have tried things from the grab and go and the delicious sandwiches and the foods in there. Drop them in the chat if you like any of the things, you'd like to see some more. Do you have any questions?
I will share that I know Lori is a big fan of the row house sandwiches. They're these lovely, incredibly fresh sandwiches that you'll find in the grab and go case. Row house grocery tofu egg salad is getting some traction here in the chat. Owner Martin had asked when turkeys will go on sale. The sale goes live on the 1st of November, along with the produce box. You'll see an email come out on Monday that has all the information about how to pre-order and make your deposits and all of that stuff. Mita and the grab and go, I think I told you this when I saw you last. There is a vegetarian chicken salad sandwich that's crazy good. You wouldn't even know that it wasn't chicken. Oh, and I guess before we go, I did want to thank Natalie. She gives us a lot of help on the back end and helps run the voting, even though she left our board a while ago, but has always still been in the fold to support our IT. So I just wanted to thank you, Natalie, so much for that. I don't mean to forget to acknowledge you earlier in the meeting. But I appreciate you so much, and for your patience with me, because most of the time I don't know what I'm talking about when I ask you for things. Okay, everybody. Well, I hope you all have a very lovely evening. Thank you so much for making this time, and we hope to see you in the store. We look forward to it. Have a good night.
Thanks, everybody.